Welcome to We Know Marketing, We Promise. I'm Kelsey.
And I'm Naoma, and this is a show about how to actually build a brand that works. We're back. Today we're going to talk about the etiquette of business and how to not be a rude bee.
And you might be confused because you can't see Naoma's laptop because it's black and blending with her entire outfit, but she does have her laptop sitting there and it looks kind of funny on video. But yeah, today we're talking about etiquette of business, which is something I don't hear a lot of people talking about.
No, nobody's talking about it because I can tell. You can tell that people are walking around entitled to people's time.
It's like the memes that are like, I can tell you didn't have a older sibling growing up. No one's been there to humble you. And it's like all these people walking around with terrible business etiquette. I mean, I'm having to train my team on certain business etiquette because it's not just known anymore. It's not common sense.
Yes. Yeah. It's been very hard. Well, right now, because we're onboarding two new people. Well, one person, but we have two newer team members to Nuevo, and it's rehashing out all the SOPs and like how we communicate with clients and how we do things. And it's made me really think back through like, how do I want the client to feel? How do I want them to experience working with us? And it's not, what's up, bro? You
Yeah.
got a sec to jump on a call? Don't do that. And we also got a DM that said, hey, bro, did you see that? And I answered in our DMs and I was like, first of all, don't start with bro.
Know your audience a little bit better, bro.
And then I said, please don't start being condescending. That's never going to get you business. I did say, here's some very candid feedback. You're welcome.
You didn't ask for it, but you did slide into my DMs. So in my opinion, you're asking for it.
You're asking for it.
Yeah, bro. I mean, yeah, certain email. I mean, we can even start with email etiquette. That is something I definitely have had to train my team on. And I think back to the early stages of my business and had to learn what was appropriate, what was not appropriate. You don't need to reply to an email thank you either. You really don't. Like, received and I'm working on this, that makes more sense to me than thank you. So I hate when I get an email back that says thank you. That might just be like a preference. But like for my team, I'm like, if a client is sending you something, I want you to respond to it because I want them to see that you saw the email. But it doesn't, let's be more intentional with our wording, I guess, would be how I've trained them.
Well, let's set some parameters around some emailing rules. So, because I'm relearning a lot of this and training my team on this too. So, one, we set some rules. Like, there's no emailing outside of business hours.
Yeah.
I know people work outside of business hours, and that's totally fine. I don't care when you're working, when you're not working, but schedule the email to go out during
Business hours.
Yeah, when Nuevo is open, not when you are working at 2 a.m., aka Naoma.
Right. So is that a 9 to 5 for you guys, or is it 8 to 5?
9 to 5.
9 to 5.
8 to 5. I'll
You're
schedule
fine.
emails at 8 a.m. Yeah.
Okay. You're fine if they send something at 8.
Yeah, but if you're sending something at 2 o'clock in the morning, if you're sending something at 8 p.m., not a fan.
Yeah.
Just because we don't want our clients to then feel like that they can do that to us in return.
Yeah.
1. 2, I also know that our clients are also working and trying to balance life and trying to, and I know that it's just an email and you can check it on your phone and whatever, but it's still taking up a mental load or an open loop that does not need to be opened at 8 p.m. or 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yep.
So that's one. Another one is, how can we be so concise that it's not, we do knowing when it's an email versus when it's a phone call versus when it needs to just be, let me jump on Zoom or let me explain it via Loom.
Yes.
Rather than let me write you a novel in the email to explain and just word vomit all in here. That's exhausting for the receiving end.
Yeah, I always tell my team if it's more than a paragraph, you need to hop on a call with the client. Like if you're trying to teach them, and a lot of times we're sending over instructions on adding us to Meta, and I'm like, don't go back and forth 10 times with the client. Like pick up the phone and call them. I know you don't want to get on the phone, but like you need to get on the phone with them because this is a terrible client experience.
Yes. So I think bulletproof. But one thing that I really This is where I feel like I'm an old lady, is like, if you've given your time away, I feel like I should at least get a thank you note. And I'd prefer a handwritten thank you note, but I will accept a thank you email. Like, hey, thank you so much for taking your time to help me with blah, 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 blah.
Oh, absolutely.
If I don't get that and I did help you and I did give you my time, I will never give you my time again.
Yeah, because you're like, cut, no more.
Well, you feel entitled to my time. You don't
See, and I'm
realize.
like, hey, this made me feel this way, and this might be a good thing for you to do in the future.
I'm not
I
training a
know,
24-year-old to be an adult. I
I
already
know,
have a child.
I know. And I am most of the time training everyone around me to be an adult, I feel like.
Yeah, and you're not getting paid for it.
No, but the people that have had those really hard conversations with me early on in my business, gosh dang, I'm so thankful for them. Like, you can't say that when someone has like blatantly said, and you do that. I do feel like you don't just cut them off. You do say why, right?
Uh, Not normally. Like, I'm not gonna be like, "Hey, just FYI, you were on the cut list." Like, I'm not gonna
No, but
do
like,
that.
but like,
But if they reach back out and they're like, "Hey,
right. Okay. We
would you
talked
do
about this.
another portfolio review of my work?" I'll be like, "Actually, no, because when you like last time, da 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 da."
See, yeah, you will.
I will
And
say that if
that's
you
what I
reach
do
back
too.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't ever, yeah, if they haven't said thank you, I haven't thought about it. Like, if you haven't sent me
Yeah,
an email, I'm not, but if they
there's
reach
not
back
a
out and it's
tally.
like, they say, and I'm like, oh man, I never heard back from them on, the last time I helped them, then I would probably say something at that point. But um, it's funny because I had a meeting this week and it made me think of business etiquette, which was great that we're talking about it today. But they had reached out. I don't know how they got my number. And I was post surgery with my daughter. And so I was answering any call that was coming in that was from an Oklahoma City number because I thought it could potentially be the doctor.
Yeah,
I was
whatever.
waiting for a pharmacy thing. So I answered the phone one night after 2 days after my daughter's surgery. And it's a guy that had gotten my number from someone and wanted me to review a video for him before he posted it. And I was like, hey, I'm in the middle of,
Excuse me?
I know, I didn't tell you because I was like, this would be great for the podcast. Here she
You
goes.
can just send that. Excuse me?
And I was
No.
like, hey, you'll be so proud of me because normally I do not do this. Naomi is so good at this. I'm so bad at this. I'm like, yeah, let me stop my entire life, get on my computer and look at this video for you. That's what I would have done years ago. And I was like, hey, thanks for reaching out. I can see that you value my expertise and thank you for that, whatever. And I'm in the middle of doing dinner with my daughter. I'd appreciate if you don't, call outside of business hours. I'm happy to help when I can, if I can, blah, 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 whatever. I don't even remember what I said. But basically, I was like, I'm not going to review the video for you. And he asked again, and I said, no, I think I was pretty clear that I'm not going to review the video for you. And like, I feel like you're kind of pushing boundary with me because it's 7 o'clock and I just told you my daughter had surgery and blah, blah, blah. And then at that point he got really uncomfortable and then he texted me yesterday and apologized or said like, thank you, for taking my call and whatnot. And then I did end up I met him for coffee to kind of show him kind of what I would do with where he's at in his current business.
You did a free
Because
consultation?
I did a free consultation. So I did well with the phone call and then I like went,
Broke in the coffee shop.
So I just told him like he's obviously not a good fit for my company. And so I was kind and said, this is what I would do if I were in your situation. And I need to go because like I need to get back to my office. And
You are way too nice. This is not what I would have done. I would have answered the call and I would have been like, I'm sorry, you're wanting me to review something that you don't pay me to do, but you value my expertise at 7 o'clock at night after I just told you that my daughter is in surgery today. Um, I'm happy to do that for you. My hourly rate is $250 an hour, and you can schedule a link here. Thank you. Payment upfront.
and in my opinion, I would be afraid that would be burning a bridge and he wouldn't recommend me to someone else. But maybe that wouldn't. Maybe that would just create more respect for me. What do you think?
I always think, what would a man do? because they would charge somebody.
Yeah, I
They would
guess.
say like, "Hey, yeah, man, totally happy to do that. Here's my consulting fee. Book a time on my calendar. It's $200."
Yeah.
And everybody would have been like, "Fine," but because it comes from a woman, it's like, "Oh." And
Yeah.
I'm like, "Yeah, oh, I know what I'm doing. Do you want the expertise or not? Fiverr is right there for you. It's $5."
I think it's gone up.
Okay, it's $15.
No, I think you're probably right. I think there's pieces of that for sure. And there is etiquette.
There's ways to say that nicely. Like, I'm saying it funny right now,
Right,
but there
right.
are ways to say, "Hey, thank you so much for reaching out. Would love to help you, but
Yeah.
unfortunately, free doesn't pay my bills." So,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
especially when you think about,
Well, when I answered the phone, the first thought that came to my mind was like, how do I get off this call as quickly as possible? Because I never answer my phone, period. Like, no one has that kind of access to me.
yeah,
And so when I realized like it was for work and it was at the, like, I haven't slept because
yeah,
Esther cert, all that stuff. So I was like, I almost like hung up without even
yeah, like, don't do
saying
that, but I would
anything
have been like,
because I was so overwhelmed in the moment. And then I was like, no, just get through the call because I don't want to burn any bridges. I want it to be a good experience when people, Oklahoma City is small, like you want to
"It
be
is."
kind. And so if I can and I have the margin in my calendar, which I just don't in this season, I love to help people out. I love to go to OU and review their presentations with them. And like that stuff is so fun for me if I have capacity, but I have to know where I have capacity or not.
The thing
And
is like, we can be overgivers and then not realize that we have overextended ourselves. That's why I'm such a proponent on boundaries around my calendar and
yes.
boundaries around who has access. Because if I'm not at 100%, I can't give my clients 100%. I
Yeah.
can't be for my family. I can't. So answering somebody who just assumes they have access to me, it's a no for me. It's a
Yeah.
no, big dog.
It's a no, bro. It's a no. No, I agree. I agree with you. And I'm trying to figure out what that looks like and not and how to do that in a kind and respectful way where I'm honoring myself and honoring the other person on the other side. But that there's a huge part of etiquette that involves calendar. Like I know we talked about email, but like really respecting someone's time. And if you have a call with them and you no show it, that is that feels so rude to me for some
Oh,
reason.
that's every single red flag hit, and I'll
Yeah.
never. This happened to me actually last month. Somebody was like, "Hey, I would love to get on the calendar with you and would love to be able to connect and so that you can refer me." So I know that they're wanting something from me, right? And I was like, "Great, I will send you a link to my calendar." And they're like, "Well, why can't we just like pop into your office?" And I was like,
They said
"Because,
that
yeah,
even after you set the boundary of the calendar.
yes." So that was already, I was like, "This is not going to go
That's
well."
pretty weird.
They're younger.
Okay.
They're younger. They're early 20s. I get it. I've been there. It's hard to like start your business, get yourself out there. I totally understand it. But this is why this conversation is important for you who are new to the business world or are starting up, or you're in your 20s and you're like, wow, I'm coming off as an a-hole. Yeah, probably. So don't do that.
And it's probably ignorance. Like
It's ignorance. It's
it's
not
not
intentional.
yeah.
So I said no because sometimes I'm in meetings, sometimes I have head down space. So, and I also only take meetings certain days of the week. So
Yeah.
here's my calendar. They booked a meeting, and I just kind of knew, and I was like, book it to come into my office. And I just, because I had a feeling that they would no show and I didn't want to like go somewhere or drive somewhere or whatever. I wanted to be in my office. And if they didn't come in, I could still get work done, which they
So
didn't show up.
do you do a Zoom link or a location?
My Calendly has the option to choose like Zoom or come to my office.
Oh, okay. Okay,
So,
that's also helpful.
yeah. So I set it up that way, and then they no showed. Never email. I didn't email them saying, "Hey, where are you?" They
No.
never emailed me. I ran into them a few days later, and they're like, "Hey, I'm so sorry. I just overslept," or I don't remember what the excuse was. Like, "Can I get back on your calendar?" And I just said, "No,
Yeah.
I can't." do that because they were like, "Oh," I was like, "Because there's no way I can wholeheartedly recommend you when you can't even show up to a meeting with a potential partner that could recommend you.
Absolutely. And then that's your name.
That's my reputation, and I'm not gonna put my name on the line for you." And that's where I think a lot of people don't think those things through is a lot of what you do is your reputation and what people think of you, what people, um, you tell people how to treat you. And so when you let these things happen all the time and you let clients kind of walk all over you and you let vendors walk all over you, you are seen as a commodity, not as not as a premier vendor, not as
Yeah.
a partner, not as an expert. I am an expert. I am your partner. I'm here to help you succeed, but I'm going to show you how to treat me because I'm
Mhm.
not going to be treated as your order taker.
Yeah, and people actually really like that because it's structure, and if I always know what I'm going to get with you, then I'm going to feel safer around you.
Yeah.
And so if you're willing to say the hard things to me to my face, because most people just say it behind your back, also not good business etiquette.
Nope.
Do not say crap behind people's back.
Nope.
The world is too small. Like, and it always comes back to bite you. Always.
Also, if I said something behind your back, come ask me. I'll say it to your face too.
Okay. Wasn't expecting to go there. She will though.
Well,
And she'll also say really unhinged things if you say something inappropriate to her in person. She has no care. I will be like in shock that something said. And she'll just immediately like pipe back to someone. It's unbelievable.
I'm sometimes shocked by myself too.
Yeah, you are. That's true. That's true. You called me the other night and I was shocked, and then you were also like, I was really surprised I said this. It's like, yeah, it just keeps getting worse. Just kidding. But sometimes it's necessary, like so if someone says something, I think we're always trying to navigate, or I feel that tension in myself of like, I don't want to make them uncomfortable, but they just made me so uncomfortable, even in like a business conversation. So even with that type of etiquette, like being really clear is actually very kind, and it's not personal, especially if you're in like a business conversation and it's like, well, that was actually inappropriate, or
Well, sometimes people are trying to push, right? Some people do just push the boundary to see where the line is.
Yeah.
And that's just how some people are wired. That's fine. I will tell you where the boundary is. And some people like to butt up against the boundary just because they want the feedback. I mean, I've had clients that are like, "All right, here we go, ready for a Naoma battle." And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm going to fight you on this because I know that this is what you need." And they kind of come up and butt up against it, and it's fine because they know,
there's a safety there.
yes.
Yeah. No, I think it's actually very good. And people know what to expect with
Yeah.
you. And that's like one of the best things. And so they're going to be more likely to recommend you than someone who you feel like has this facade on every time you talk to them, and you never know what you're going to
Yeah.
get or like what they're thinking.
Or
It's
if
like
they're
you're
going to
always
say
kind of
hi to
like,
you this time, or if they're not going to say hi to you.
exactly.
Like that. Oh my God. Nobody has time for that.
Too many games.
I am not playing checkers here. But I do think that there is this level of etiquette that has been lost in business. So I think we need to be very clear in emails. I think we have to be very respectful of people's time, especially when you're asking them for something.
Mhm.
One of the things that I was talking to Kristen about this the other day, and she said it's a very interesting how these younger people will ask people, "Hey, can we go get coffee? And I want to kind of pick your brain." And I've stopped doing those, but some people are very gracious and they're like, "Yes, I will let you pick my brain." Like Kelsey, she will do it, obviously. Um,
Please,
so
please don't reach out to pick my brain because I have
she'll
a hard
just
time.
send you the meme of me saying, "No, wait."
Exactly. I'm just going to make one that I can just send to people now.
Get in contact with Naoma. But one of the things that she was saying is that they will invite these people because they want to pick their brain. They want to ask about investing. They want to ask about, how do I build a business? How do I scale the business? And then expect the other person that they invited to coffee to pay for their coffee.
What?
Yeah. And so I just want to say this. If you're inviting somebody to lunch, to coffee, to
Pay
happy
for
hour,
it.
you're expecting to get something from them, you need to pay for it. And if you cannot pay for somebody's coffee, then don't even ask them for a coffee.
That's right. Yeah. I
Um,
completely agree with that.
and yeah, so I think just having that common courtesy of if I'm inviting you and I'm expecting to get great info from you, I need to have at least pay for the coffee, at least send a thank you note or a thank you email. Handwritten is better always.
Absolutely.
But just having those common courtesies, and you may not think that that's a big deal because in the end, it's kind of not, but it kind of is because the business world runs on trust and relationships. And if you burn a bridge and you don't even know that you burned that bridge, you have no idea how many doors of opportunities have closed to you, and you have no idea that your name may never be mentioned in rooms because you didn't send a thank you note.
Yeah. Yeah, that's absolutely true. And you are going to stand out more than anyone. Like in Gen Z, with people that I've hired, contractors, all of that, like the ones that have really good etiquette stand out so much to me. I can tell that their parents raised them with those types of principles. I can tell that they have good character, that like if they
Mhm.
make a mistake, they're going to own a mistake. Like I had one of my girls this week text me and was like, "Hey, I accidentally posted 2 videos on one day on the We Know Marketing page, and one went up at 10 a.m., one went up at 5 p.m. Do I need to take one down? I'm so sorry." But she owned it and texted me immediately, and I was like, "No, that's fine. We just have a double post one day, and that's
Yeah.
great. We're posting every day anyway, so like, no, it's totally okay. Thank you for owning that." But
Yeah.
like that was really good etiquette in my opinion,
Yeah.
and I respect her more because she did that. And there's been many times people are missing deadlines, missing this, and they don't communicate to me like, "Hey, I'm out of hours for this week, or I'm struggling to get this done by this deadline. Can you help me?" And it just goes so far, that extra little nudge. Or like the hours that I have blocked on my calendar right now, I'm having some Wi-Fi issues, so I'm going to adjust it. So I'm actually working this time today instead. And it's not that I'm sitting there looking at their calendar to make sure that they're on at these certain times, but it's just like I can tell that she respects me as her boss, and that feels really good.
Yes.
And it makes me trust her
It
more
makes you
with,
trust her more, and then you're like, "I trust that she's gonna get her job done."
and there's going to be relational equity. So if like she ends up moving on to a different place, I'm happy to give a referral and speak her praises because she honored me so well as a contractor,
Yeah.
for Stevie Social. And I mean, same thing goes with conversations. If you're asking someone to coffee and you're sitting down with them, this has happened to me a lot. They'll buy my coffee and everything, but I'm asking them all the questions. And I'm like, if you get to sit down with, if I got to sit down with David Baker, I would not let him ask me a single question, because like I would want to know every single thing I could about him in that short
Mhm.
amount of time that he is giving me. And I would be so grateful for every second that I
Yep.
had. So it was like, come prepared. Like there's etiquette to that too. Like
Yes.
if you're wanting to connect with people and you're wanting to build a reputation in your city and have relationships and have trust, come prepared. Like
Mhm.
have your stuff together. Send the calendar invite first to my email. Like I
Mhm.
don't want to be sending that if you're scheduling coffee with me.
No.
And then if you don't send me a calendar invite, there's no way I'm going to be there because I'm going to forget.
No.
Like,
If it's not on the calendar, it's not happening. Yeah.
yeah. And so I think there's little things like that that just like give this hospitality
It
that
just
no one is doing right
it just
now.
makes it feel a little bit more like thoughtful and like you respect somebody's time, which is all everybody wants to do. Nobody is rooting for your failure,
No.
but if you're also making it kind of hard for us to root for your success. So like that's why don't do that.
Yeah.
Like make it so easy that if you sent me a calendar invite, if you sent me a thank you note, and then whatever, and then I don't see you again for months, and then somebody's like, "Hey, Naoma, I'm interviewing so and so, or I'm talking to so and so to hire them. Do you know them? What do you know about them?" Because people ask, and people don't realize that this is really how the business world at works. Is that people will be like, "Hey, I'm thinking about hiring this designer. Have you heard of blah 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 blah?" And I'll
Hmm.
be like, "Yes, no, this is what I heard about them," and I'll be very candid, as we all know. So that's what I'm saying. You may not know that you burned a bridge or closed a door unintentionally just because you were rude and didn't know you were coming off rude.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Just from not having basic etiquette skills.
yeah. But if you, I mean, if like you said, if you really write a thank you note, like those kinds of things are so easy to stand out with that then I can be like, you know what? I never worked with them, but they were very responsive when I was having a meeting with them or whatever.
Yeah. They were very professional. They were timely. All of those things are so, so important. And it even makes me think of when what I've watched like a lot of videos lately on hiring, and I think one was Gary Vee, and it was like Gary Vee and then Layla Hermosi both said the same thing of like, if they have really good character, I can teach them pretty much any technical skill that I need done in my business. And so you're showing that you have good character and that you intentionally think through things and that you're slowing down, and people matter. Like for us, people matter. Like people are first and at Stevie. So our clients and our team, and like we are respectful, and honor is one of our biggest core values, and so is intention. And so like to be on our team, you have to have good character or it just doesn't work.
Yeah.
But you can almost learn any technical skill. But they were literally saying that's the first thing they look for hiring, and they're not hiring based on resumes.
Yeah, I was just on a podcast and somebody was asking me about that, like for creatives. And I said, a lot of people with like the flashiest portfolio just kind of walk in and they're like, I have the best portfolio, you should hire me. And if I can tell that they're going to be an a-hole, I'm going to be like, I I will take the cool person that I'm going to have to sit next to and train 40 hours a week over the person with the flashiest portfolio.
Oh, yeah.
So, that's just the reality. But I do think it's getting back to wrapping this up. I do think that if you are not, if you do not have some sort of business etiquette, you're not sending thank you notes, you're not being intentional with people's time, even at a professional level, um, you will get fewer business opportunities. It will start to damage or help your reputation, which is your brand. Um, and you may not realize the doors that could be opened or are getting closed because of how you're treating other people unintentionally.
Yeah. Yeah. And you have to decide when people give you that kind of feedback, like, are you going to take it, or are you going to
Pout about it.
pout about it and, play the victim? And it's like, if someone's kind enough to give you that feedback, they really care about you. I'll just say that, because if you make that change, that could change the doors that are being opened for you. That could change your brand, how people are seeing you, your visibility. And not to mention, you don't have it all figured out. We don't have it all figured out.
No.
Like, we are still needing that feedback.
Yeah.
Everyone we're around is still looking for that kind of feedback. And I really do think that that's a huge piece of having like the grit to continue on this path of like business. Like, you have to be willing to take hard feedback and adjust and realize that you're going to be wrong sometimes. And if someone is so kind to do that, you should thank them. Like, thank you for telling me that.
Yep. Well, that's a wrap. Everybody have a good day. Bye.
Bye. And that's a wrap on this episode.
If you found this helpful, hit subscribe, leave a review, or share it with a friend.